Hi, good afternoon, everyone from Singapore. Thank you for joining me today at Frequency Network. So today we are going to talk about detoxification of impurities. Okay, hi Shambhavi. Okay, all right. So housekeeping as usual. So the disclaimer by Healy World is that the company provides this platform for us to learn and share. So this platform here is only for education purpose. Okay, so it should not be understood as official advice given by the company. All right, so the Healy and MagHealy devices, they are wellness device. Okay, hi. Okay, they are wellness device and they are not meant to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease or any medical condition. So should you have any issues of concern, please, you must always seek the advice of qualified medical professional. So use the Healy and MagHealy to support, okay, your health, your journey. Nonetheless, you must always see a doctor if you need to. Okay, now my own disclaimer, whatever that I share with you today is based on my personal experience while using the Healy and the MagHealy. Okay, so there are many ways to use these devices. So do not just stick to just one method. So you mix and match and then feel, okay, use your body to feel, or sometimes use your intuition, to select your programs. So the Healy and MagHealy device, they are microcurrent and frequency vibrations devices that can balance and harmonize our bioenergetic field. Okay, so the results will vary from person to person. Okay, all right, so today we are going to talk about using Healy and MagHealy device to remove impurity and toxins from the body. Have you ever wondered, have you ever wondered why any new users, we advise you to actually start with Gold Cycle Pure, or Deep Cycle Clean All. So today you're going to find out, and today's session is like a horror show. Okay, so be prepared. Okay, so for those who need translation, you can either use the link that I put into the chat, or you can use this QR code here to access the language that you need. Okay. Now, my background for those who are joining me for the first time. Okay, so I started using bioresonance about 7 to 8 years ago. So back then it is a big device. Okay, let me switch off. Okay, so back then is a big device about the size of our laptop, and now it is just a small little portable device. Okay, so it's such a big improvement, and it's so good. Okay, very accurate. The results from the analysis of Healy MagHealy is very, very accurate. So I've compared against the big device, and I find that using Healy is good enough. Okay, so now I use Healy and MagHealy to do bioenergetic profiling. And my background is I'm an A-level biology teacher, okay, for many years, and a bit of training in the meridian system. Okay, so for those who want to use the Healy properly, okay, you can get these books that I've compiled. So for those who have gotten it, do read it from cover to cover so that you get a complete understanding of how to use all the functions. Because in every session that we have, we only cover a tiny little bit of the functions. Okay, so free resources are available in my YouTube channel. Use Healy and Healypedia, so you can go there and search for all the resources that you need. Okay, so okay, let's begin. Okay, so today we are going to talk about how impurities and toxins enter the body. Are there really so much, Because if you think of detox, there's so many different detox programs, solutions out there. So are there really so much toxins in the body, and how do they actually get into the body? All right, then where do they come from? What are the sources of impurities, toxins? So we are going to focus on tiny little particles, chemicals, pathogens. Pathogens are your fungus, bacteria, virus, parasites, and then negative emotions and stress is also bad for our body. And then how then do we use Healy and MagHealy programs, and which are the programs that we are going to use to remove impurities and toxins from the body? So roughly, this is what we're going to cover today. Okay, now what are impurities and what are toxins? So when we say impurities, we are talking about something foreign to the body. It does not belong to the body. They are unwanted substances. They may or may not be harmful. Okay, yeah. So for example, dust, it may not actually be harmful to your cells. Okay, but nonetheless, they are foreign to the body. It does not belong to the body. Okay, solvents. These are substances used to dissolve, okay, different substances and all that. Okay, now toxins, when we use the word toxins, we are referring to proteins, chemicals, substances that are produced by living organisms. For example, a snake venom. Okay, that's toxin, bacterial toxins, fungal toxins. So these are actually produced by living organisms, but again, they also do not belong to the body. So these are foreign, but definitely harmful. Okay, so our body will respond to all this when it enters into our body. So we're talking about how all these toxins enter into our body. Now, okay, we like nuts. Okay, we like to eat nuts, but usually we store it improperly after we open the packaging. Okay, so we put them into containers. Sometimes we just leave it on the table for 1 week or 2 weeks, and then little do we realize that the fungus have actually started to grow on it. Okay, now because these are actually seeds, when you have nuts, they are actually seeds. So seeds are actually very, very rich in nutrients, and fungus, bacteria would love to actually feed on all this. So if you put your hand in, grab a handful, and then after that you close the lid, so whatever fungal spores, bacteria that's in our hand will land on the rest of the nuts in the container. Okay, so what happens is then with the moisture in the atmosphere, with the oxygen, everything, they will start to grow, and sometimes you don't see them with your bare eyes. Okay, so now a raw food, if you would like to eat raw fish, so there may be parasites, and there have been news report where clients, when they go to the restaurant, they actually see tiny little roundworm, pinworm, parasitic worms that are crawling in their raw fish. Okay, there are raw salads. Okay, raw salads. Some of these are roots coming from the soil. So if you do not wash them, clean them, scrub them, so what happens is some of the eggs of the parasitic worms, fungal spores will land on the food, and then you will eat them. Okay, so if you do a lot of soil activities, okay, yeah, so this is where you have all the spores, egg or parasites, etc. And animals. We love animals. We cuddle them. So they have parasites as well, okay, from animal feces, okay. Then sometimes they go out, and then they mingle with other animals, and that's where they catch some of the undesirable parasites. So if you do a lot of outdoor activities, you go camping, you go hiking, and then you go into the water. So what happens is as you walk, there is abrasion to your skin. So every scratch, abrasion, when you go into the water, when you step on the mud and all that. So these openings, these abrasions are opening where this kind of fungus, bacteria, and all that can enter. Okay, yeah. So imagine a pool of water like that. Although they look clean, but animals come here to drink. Okay, they come here and they do their business. Okay, feces, urine, all this inside the same pool of water. So they may not be as clean as it seems. So if you do farming, okay, agriculture, gardening, and if you do it with your bare hands, so soil particles, cysts, spores can get caught, lodged in your fingernails, and then after that, you go on to prepare food, you scratch yourself, okay, and you lick your fingers. All these will actually result in transmission of pathogens, okay? Now, if you have had infections before, I think no one has ever been spared from infection, whether it's a fungal infection, viral, bacterial infection. So even bacterial, after you have taken your full course of antibiotics, it does not mean that you have completely eradicated, removed completely all these viruses from your body. So there are residues. Okay, residues are the remnants. Okay, a few of them. So there is not enough to actually cause you to have symptoms. So you think that they are gone, but actually they are not. So some of their toxins are left behind. Okay, so there can be all these yeast, molds. That's why sometimes UTI, urinary tract infection, which is a yeast infection, you get it over and over again because you never completely get rid of them. So when you take a bout of antibiotics or take medication, it brings the level down. Okay, so you thought you healed, but when you're stressed, when the immune is weakened, then all these will have a chance to grow again, and then they give you a second infection. Okay, so now where are they? In terms of all these residue, they can be hiding in nooks and corners anywhere where the immune cells cannot find them. Okay, so they will hide. They will hide inside your heart. They will hide in the intestinal lining. Okay, they will hide in your bladder lining. Okay, any wound cuts that you have, your teeth, the plaque in the middle ear, any part of the body, you can actually find them. Okay, now there can be heavy metals as well. Heavy metals, they also get accumulated in the body, all right, over time. So a little bit of the heavy metal that we take in through our food, our water, etc., or we breathe in, bit by bit. Okay, so these, I call them slow killers. Slow killers. You don't even know that they are there. So we call this bioaccumulation. So what happens is as these toxins enter into the body, okay, your body will naturally do a few things. One is to try to remove them. If they cannot remove them, what they do is to find a little space where they can stuff them. Okay, so sometimes it will be your joint, okay, liquids between your joints. So they will put it there because that's a safe place. That's why you have joint pain. Okay, because if they put it in the liver, in the heart, and all that, you will get organ failure. So they will put it into your bone. Okay, yeah. So all these places where it does not harm you straight away, is a safe place to store them until your body can get rid of them. Okay, so this is called bioaccumulation. Okay, the other one is called biomagnification. Okay, now human, we are right on top of the food chain. Okay, now, so what happens is the plant will absorb the sun energy. So after that, you have the consumers to eat the plant, and then you have the little insect here that feed on the algae, and then you have the fish that feed on this little mayfly algae, and then we eat what? We eat our snapper, we eat the sea bass and all that. So it accumulates. Okay, so you find that as we go up the food chain, each level, you see the black bar here, each level will accumulate more and more and more in their tissues. So human being right on top of the food chain, we actually accumulate a lot of all these toxins, not just from our direct contact, they actually accumulate a lot from the food, especially food, fishes, that grow in polluted waters. There will be a lot of heavy metals. If you talk about vegetables, grains, and all this, plant produce, so it depends on the fertilizers, on the herbicides that sprayed on this. So all these going through two processes. One is within our own body, is called bioaccumulation. So the pollutant, impurities, toxins will accumulate over time. So let's say if you are 50 years old, so it would have accumulated over 50 years. All right. Now, on top of that, it is being amplified, magnified because of all this, okay, accumulation up the food chain. Okay, so what happens when we have all these impurities in the body? Okay, so it will definitely interfere with cell functions, especially enzymes. So what happens is some of these can actually bind to the enzyme and then it disable the enzymes. So metabolic enzymes. So you find yourself, your cells not functioning properly, your digestion drop, your metabolism drop. So it depends on which enzyme is being disabled. Then it's a stress on your detox organ. So next 2 weeks later, my next session, we will talk about the organs that help to neutralize or remove all these toxins, your liver, kidney, heart, brain. So they go through a lot of stress because these things that are from external, they have to remove, okay? Then, of course, you will start to have the impact of fatigue or tumors, cancers, because they can be carcinogenic. Okay, they can weaken your immune system and make you more susceptible to infection. It can actually cause infertility, that you see over here. All right, so it can cause skin rashes, and then it can get lodged in between the DNA. You know, the DNA has two strands running like this. So in between, there are tiny spaces. So what happens is some of these impurities can actually go in. We call it intercalate. You know, like the door, you want to keep the door open, you use the wedge to actually hold the door. So some of these chemicals can wedge in between here. And what happens is when you get wedged, you can no longer open the DNA in order to express the gene. Okay, so that will lead on to diseases later on. Okay, so these are consequences. So sometimes when there is a disease, for example, diabetes, yeah, you would think that something was wrong with the gene, but actually it's not. Actually, it could be some of these toxins that is lodged inside. And as you use Healy to detox, if we manage to remove all these chemicals that lock your gene, so you'll find that, okay, you will feel improvement because why? Your gene starts to be expressed again. Yeah, so that can happen. Okay, so now we go to the first category first, which is the particles. Okay, particles from nature, for example, pollen. Okay, pollen grain. So if you are living in countries with 4 seasons, in spring and summer, when you have a lot of blooms, when the grass starts to bloom, this is what you will have in the air. A lot of all these powdery pollen grains in the air that causes certain people to have hay fever. We call it allergy rhinitis. Okay, yeah. So then there is volcanic eruption. So all this will spill out a lot of tiny particles, okay? Wild forest fires. So we have this particulate matter 2.5. So these can easily penetrate into the surfaces all the cavities that we have. Okay, on top of that, when you have all these, you have carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. So these becomes irritants to the body, disrupting our pH, okay, pH of our body fluid. Then if you live in the city, or if you live near all these factories, so they will spill out all these polluted exhaust. Okay, the car exhaust, this is where you have sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide. So we breathe in all these pollutants into the body. Now, if your work has to do with renovation, interior design, okay, construction, or if you live near all these things, all these activities, you are actually breathing in a lot of dust particles as well. Okay, now the other one are the plastics. A lot of plastics. We use plastics for packaging. So when you pile food that is hot onto the plastic packaging, what happens is part of it, the lining can actually melt and dissolve, get into your food. Now, there are also plastics that can degrade over time, your plastic bags. So it becomes tiny, tiny little particles like this. Okay, this is called microplastics. So they can become suspended in the air, they get into the soil, they get into the water system, and we may actually be drinking all this into our body. Okay, and in fact, there is already evidence that we have microplastics in our body. Okay, how much? Can you guess how much plastic do you have inside your body? Okay, now after this, every time you pull out your credit card, okay, let that serve as a reminder. Okay, I read an article and somebody was saying that there is, okay, this much plastic inside our body, in an adult body. Okay, yeah, so if you put them all together, it's about the size of our credit card. So we do have a significant amount of plastics in the body. Now, plastics, microplastics are also being used. They are added, intentionally added into cosmetics, okay, because it gives a certain powdery thickness. Okay, it sticks to the surface, it won't fall out, so it is stable. Yeah, so therefore it is added into products like this. So every time you do your blusher, so you are actually putting some of these microplastics onto your skin. Okay, now we also use scrubs. Okay, we use scrubs with these microbeads inside, so that we can scrub the dead skin from off, and then so that you get nice youthful skin. So not all of these abrasives here are actually washed away or used up, so they get into your water system. Yeah, so they go to the stream, the sea, the ocean, and guess what? The fishes, okay, the fishes get all these trapped in their gills. It goes into your stomach and all that. So these are actually polluting all our water, soil system. Okay, now personal care. So no one is actually spared from all these impurities, because we have to use our personal care, our shampoo, our facial cleanser, our what do you call that? Um, for the hair, okay, to soften the hair and all that. So your detergent, okay, so there is direct contact, okay, when you put on your facial cleanser, okay, when you wash your hair. So all these get into the body through your skin. Okay, so there could be parabens, although now we are more conscious. So we look at the label, we are looking for products that are paraben free. Okay, but nonetheless, there would still be products that would have all of this. Okay, parabens. These are preservatives and then there are antimicrobials as well. So this is to extend the shelf life of products, because certain products they put in, let's say, essential oils. Okay, they put in coconut oil. Now, all these oils are actually food for fungus and bacteria. They love it. So to prevent these things from going bad, you have to put this kind of chemicals as preservatives to extend the shelf life of the product. Then you have the emollients. These are oils, glycerin, petroleum oils to make the products smooth and easy to apply. For example, your bath, okay, your bath foam, bath wash, and all that. Now, if you use only all the natural oils inside, the product actually smells horrible. So to make us enjoy and relax during our bath, they will add in fragrances, colors as enhancers. Okay, so there could be titanium dioxide, okay, being used to actually enhance colors and scents. Okay, now the list is very long. If you bleach your clothes, if you wear all the colors on your nails, if you dye your hair, and water that are polluted with lead, arsenic, mercury, cadmium, chromium, nickel, these are called heavy metals. So they can be found in our drinking water as well. Okay, so then on top of that, our happy hour, so we will drink alcohols to relax, to enjoy. At the end of a long working day, we also apply essential oils. Now, some essential oils are extracted using alcohol. Okay, so these alcohol extracted essential oils will contain a small amount of alcohol in it. Then perfumes, aromatherapy. Then you have air fresheners. Then you have chocolate with liquor in it, and then you have dessert tiramisu with liquor in it as well. So now when we take all this, so we are also taking in the alcohol as well. Okay, now these are alcoholic beverages. So these are the so-called ladies' drinks because they are lower in alcohol compared to liquor, which is about 40%. So this is 4 to 7% alcohol by volume. So they seem to be milder, but if you drink 1 can of this every day, it becomes bioaccumulation. So you're accumulating this inside your body. Okay, yeah. So now teenagers, so this is also a gradual introduction to alcohol for teenagers. So you actually start drinking this at a very young age. Okay, now during the pandemic, COVID pandemic, we use a lot of sanitizer. All right. Now, if you look at the amount of alcohol here, look at this, 80%. Okay, you have 75%, you have 70% alcohol. Okay, so it is not a small amount. It is actually more alcohol than the hard liquor. Okay, and we apply it, rub it on our skin, and then it will penetrate through the skin. Yeah. Okay, so medication, if you have been on long-term medication, so you will find that whenever you look at the packaging, they will have active ingredients. So active ingredients is the actual medication. And then you see below, they will have this list of inactive ingredients. So the actual drug is only very, very little. All right. So they added what? They added fillers. Sometimes it's cellulose to bind. These are binders so that the drug can actually bind to the fibers inside to hold it together. These coatings, so this plastic looking thing here, the cellulose film here, these are the coating. So they have one layer of coating here, and then medication, they put colors so that in the event that you can't remember the names, at least you remember the shape, you remember the colors, so that you know this is for the morning, this is for lunch, this is whatever. So it becomes color coded, especially for elderly, okay, because they can't the fonts are too small, so you go by the colors. So all these are dyes, preservatives, so flavoring, so that the medication is not too hard to take. All right. So all these are added. So imagine that if you're on long-term medication, so all these will accumulate over time. So for those who have gone through chemotherapy sessions before, so the drugs that's used for chemotherapy, these are drugs that will prevent the cells from dividing. So to prevent the cell from dividing, remember just now I said that there are chemicals where you can lodge in between the DNA so that it will not open up. So this is alkylating agents, okay, that damage the DNA, so it get lodged to prevent it from opening up. So they have anti-metabolites, okay. These are drugs that will mimic your metabolites to actually stop the cancer cells from producing energy, from functioning, so that they will die. And then you have inhibitors of enzyme, and then you have chemicals that will actually stop the cell from dividing. Okay, then there's also antibiotics in the entire concoction. Okay, so now what happens is after the treatment cycles, what happens is some of these will remain in the body, and some of these will actually be affecting the other cells as well. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to flush them out from the body after the session. Okay, now the next category will be the toxins, bacterial toxins. Okay, we would have in our lifetime had one or twice of this, and it is a terrible experience, right? Having diarrhea, vomiting is because of the toxin. Actually, it's not the bacteria itself. It's the toxin. When present in very high concentration, they cause irritation of the gut lining. So therefore, you have a very immediate response. Okay, now sometimes the toxin can open up the ion channels and cause disruption in the water balance. So suddenly you have too much water in the gut, and then that resulted in diarrhea. Okay, so it's either vomiting, diarrhea, and then the pathogens itself. Okay, what do? They can actually cause damage to the lining. That damage to the lining will then lead to inflammation. Inflammation is a good thing because inflammation, when the tissue is inflamed, it actually attracts the immune cells to come over here, because when there's an inflammation, they know that, okay, maybe there's an infection, the immune cells will come and try to clean up everything. And then there are other cells or other chemicals during inflammation that will increase the blood cells growing there, so to direct more nutrients over here to do the repair. Okay, yeah, so but chronic inflammation becomes terrible. Okay, so now when inflammation occurs and when the body wants to come and fight against this bacteria, the bacteria will also have their own defense mechanism, okay, for survival. Okay, so what they do is they will immediately produce substances. Okay, one is the toxins, the other one is slime. Okay, slime. So what they do is they will quickly cover themselves, like put a blanket over them with slime, so that if you are taking antibiotics or if your immune cells come near and wants to kill them with our natural immunization, it will not reach them directly. Okay, it will have to pass through this layer of slime before it can reach them. Same, your drugs, your antibiotics cannot immediately get to them. So even if the drugs diffuse in and get to them, the concentration is so low that it may not even kill them or affect them. Okay, so they build this protective layer. Now, how do you know this protective layer? They will grow at the sink, at your sink area. After you finish scrubbing, very soon you'll find that you see a layer of slimy, smooth things that is growing at the opening where the water passes through. Okay, so you start to see all these things growing. So these are called biofilm. So they form a thin layer on surfaces, any kind of surfaces. So this slime is to actually protect them against, okay, chemicals that you use against them, drugs, okay, the immune cells, etc. So where are the surfaces in our body where they can actually form that thin film? Okay, now, anywhere in the body. Teeth, if you don't brush your teeth for a few days, you can actually feel the layer of plaque and slime, okay, on your teeth. Okay, on all your mucous membranes, the entire surface of your mucous membrane. One is your respiratory tract, the other one is your digestive tract. Okay, so the whole entire lining there, they can be found there. Okay, then in the bones, in the implants. So if you have a teeth implant, if you have a titanium implant, if you have plastic valves that replace your original one, so they will actually grow over it on the surface. So if you have a knee joint, okay, that has been replaced with metals and all that, that is where they will find themselves. Okay, now diabetic ulcers, wounds, they will actually grow over it such that it will then prevent the diabetic wound from healing, because the drugs that you take, okay, will not be able to reach the area where there is wound and injury. Okay, so therefore they never recover from that wound. Okay, so this is the nuisance that all these residual bacteria can cause to the body. Okay, now they can cause ulcer. Ulcer is when they start to damage the tissues. Okay, so they usually, because they are sufficient on their own, they actually do not need whatever from our cells. What they need is the nutrients from our blood, and they can actually grow and divide on their own. Okay, now sometimes they actually damage all these cells here. They start to penetrate. So initially they are in the digestive tract because they come in our food. So slowly they will break through the lining, and then they get into. So when they are outside, when they are in the tract, what happens is our body can then push it out through the other end, the anus. Okay, but what they do is they want to get into the bloodstream. Okay, because this is where the food is located. All our glucose is actually food for them. So they will penetrate the lining, causing ulcers, okay, because of the damaged tissue here. So when the tissue here is damaged, the white blood cells will come and clean up the area, okay, and kill as many of these as possible, and then it will result in pus, P-U-S, formation of pus. So pus is actually the dead bacteria that the immune cells manage to remove, okay, but some of them will be able to penetrate, and then they will be feeding on our blood. Okay, yeah, all the nutrients that are coming here. Okay, now the next one the next category is actually the fungus or fungi. So they can be found in grains, your rice grains, your containers, where you have nuts, bread is very common. Okay, now when they first start to grow, your eyes actually cannot see them. By the time you see black spots appearing on your bread, on your food, when you start to see all the furry vertical thing, it's too late, because they would have already grown in the substance itself. Okay, so they actually grow invisibly in between here that our eyes cannot see. So only when they reach a mature state, when they are ripe, then only they start to put out the vertical tissue. And at the tip here is where the spores are located. So only when the spores, it's time to disperse the spore, when it turns black, then only our eyes can actually see that, oh, it's moldy, it's black patches. Okay, so don't depend on your eyes. So depend more on your taste and smell. So when you open up the plastic bag, you'll find that if it smells different, then you know that it's actually moldy. Okay, now, because why? What happens is we always put our hand in, reach out for 1 or 2 slices of bread, take it out, and then we close it. So actually a lot of the fungus spores would have landed on the bread. Yeah, so always refrigerate. Yeah. So the other one is peanuts. Bad news for those who like peanuts. After this, I think you may want to eat sparingly peanuts. Okay, this is a popular snack. I like it. Okay, peanut butter, peanuts is very hard to stop after you start popping. But I do know that there is this toxin called the aflatoxin that's very common in fungus infested peanuts. Okay, usually by the time you get them, they peel off the outer skin and then you get nice, fragrant, salty, roasted peanuts. But you don't see what it's like in the storage. Okay, yeah, because the storage condition, if it's not properly cooled and dried, so humidity and all that will quickly cause all this to grow, because the peanuts are actually underground. So the shell here actually has a lot of different fungal spores and all that. So the fungus can actually grow very, very quickly in the improper storage condition. So, but we normally don't see them. Okay. Yeah. So they are produced by this fungus here, the toxins. So it's common in peanuts, maize, tree nuts. Okay, and the bad thing is it's heat stable. Heat stable means that even if you cook them, you steam them, you roast them, it will not destroy the aflatoxin. All right, so this causes liver damage and even liver cancer. Okay, now this is not the only toxin available. Okra toxin that is found in grains. Okay, grains, your rice, your wheat, coffee, vine fruits, meaning that these are your grapes, yeah, that are dried, and sometimes dried fruit like apricot, yeah, so all those dried fruits. So if they are infected by Aspergillus penicillium, not certain type of penicillium, okay, so they produce nephrotoxin, and this toxin is actually damaging for your kidneys. Okay, certain fungus will produce phytoestrogen, meaning that these are chemicals that will mimic our human hormone. So they start to behave like a human hormone, and then they will cause a lot of disruption. Okay, so there are also toxins that can cause nausea, DNA damage, and some can be quite deadly. Yeah. Okay, then comes the next category, the parasites. Two types. One is external. These are usually from animals. Okay, so although you have your pets and you groom and then you bathe them, you care for them, but then if they go out to walk in the park, they mix with some of the other wild animals, so they will also get ticks and lice and fleas. Okay, then the other one is mites, M-I-T-E-S, bed bugs. Okay, now it is not them that is causing the problem. It is the bacteria in them that is causing the problem. Okay, for example, Lyme disease, Lyme, Lyme disease. Lyme disease can actually cause chronic fatigue, meaning that no matter what you do, you'll find that you are perpetually in a low energy state. It's actually caused by bacteria from tick. So if you go into the camping, wilderness and all that, So you don't see the animals, but the animals at night, they appear along the track. Okay, so through their feces, through them shaking their body, so the ticks and all that may catapult, okay, out from their body and land on the surfaces. Okay, they may have sat on the bench there prior to you sitting on the bench resting, and you have all these crawl, just give you one bite. It is not them, but the bacteria in their saliva, okay, will actually get injected into our bloodstream. Okay, it's the same as dengue. So this is an Aedes mosquito. All right. So it is not the mosquito that causes the malaria disease. Sorry, not dengue, malaria. So it is the parasite that survive in their saliva glands. Okay, the protozoans there. When they inject into our bloodstream, it is the protozoan, the parasites, that actually grow and give us the malaria disease. Okay, so that's one category. The other ones are the internal parasites. Okay, yeah. So how do they get into our body? Through their eggs. Okay, through their eggs, because we can't see with our bare eyes. So what happens is soil, okay, soil, ground. If you don't wear gloves, you have direct contact, their eggs and all that can get lodged in your fingernails, okay, or potatoes, carrots that you pull from the ground, okay, yeah, so they may have their eggs, and their eggs cannot be destroyed by our stomach acid because their egg actually have a protective covering, okay, that can actually become resistant to the acids and all that. So they will survive. So they will pass through the stomach, they will end up in the intestine where they actually feed on our undigested or partially digested food. Okay, so they feed on that. Okay, so symptoms, if they're in the digestive tract, constipation, diarrhea, gas, heartburn, nausea, and then chronic fatigue, exhaustion. Because why? Because they take away our nutrients. Okay, they take away our nutrients. So that's why we don't have enough. So it may result even in depression, headaches, personality changes because of the discomfort internally. So yeah, so you become very edgy, irritable, memory loss, and then skin, rash, hives, rosacea, eczema, okay? Yeah. Then joint pains. Okay, why joint pains? Because they're toxins, the body will try to flush them, put some of them inside, so they actually attack the joints. They actually crawl through your organs and all that. So that's the bad thing about the worms, okay, because they can actually move around right through and penetrate through organs and all that. Now, some of them, they feed on the iron, right? So our red blood cells got a lot of iron, so they actually puncture the red blood cells, they feed on it, so you become anemic. Okay, and it also makes you feel tired because when you have less and less red blood cell, you also have less oxygen. Okay, then you don't seem to feel full because they take some of your food. Okay, itchy skin, itchy anus, the pinworm. Okay, if they are found in your large intestine, they actually crawl out and cause itchy anus. They cause insomnia because you will be tossing and turning. And then sometimes, and most of the time, you don't feel any symptoms. Okay, especially if you're fit, you may not feel anything at all. Okay, so all these I've mentioned earlier, how they get into our body. These are all your contacts. Okay, now viruses. We would have infection, viral infection before. These are some of the common infections. Now, you would have heard of people saying that they have long COVID. Long COVID meaning that after an acute infection, they have certain symptoms that are related to the COVID infections that can last for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and they never really recover from that. Okay, that's called the long COVID. So it's the same for all these, yeah, because you never really get rid of them completely. So they linger inside the body until your immune drop under stress, becomes suppressed, and it gives them another opportunity to reinfect you. Okay, so then okay, so for viruses, how do you know you get a viral infection is fever? Okay, fever. The body, there's no medication for virus, antiviral, because the virus uses our cell machinery to actually replicate themselves. So if you kill the viral machinery, you're actually killing your own cells. So we can't. Okay. Yeah. So only very, very few antivirals are available at this point in time. We depend on our immune system to actually fight the virus. And fever is usually a good hint for us that we have a viral infection, even if it's a mild fever. Okay, because fever is good. Fever raises the body temperature to actually activate the immune cells to start producing either antibodies or to have the killer cells that will go around and destroy our human cells that are already infected to actually stop the replication of the viruses. Okay, so for viral infection, we have to strengthen our immune system. Okay, now stress hormones, when it's too much, is no good. Okay, so these are also chemicals that is no good for the body. Cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. So these are stress hormones that can lead to nervous dysregulation, irregular blood pressure, okay, your sleep, and digestive disorder as well. Okay, now the other one that is coming from external outside, okay, one is also the negative emotions from others. Remember, the other time I explained to you that when you interact with people, their negativity in their bioenergetic field actually affect you, so you also get that. And the other kind of negative information or emotions come from the meat products that we take, okay, because of how they are cultivated under this kind of conditions, whether it's cattle, whether it's pigs, okay, any kind of animals, because of the conditions that they are cultivated, and then the killing process creates a lot of stress to the animals, so it goes in. So they also go through trauma, and the trauma will go into the body, into the meat of the animal. So when we consume all this, we actually get them. Okay, so it get passed to us as well. Okay, so now how to actually help ourselves. Okay, so here, now when you do the 5x5 earlier, we'll see whether do you regularly get this kind of programs that I'm going to talk about. Okay, now we always ask a new person to actually start with pure, Gold Cycle Pure or Deep Cycle Clean All, because there is really, after you have heard, 1 whole hour on impurities and toxins, okay, so I hope that we now realize how much toxins there is in our body. So we always want to remove all these residues, toxins, particles, all this from our body first. So you can also use the release or pure in Gold Cycle. Okay, Deep Cycle, Clean All. Digest All would be your whole entire digestive system. Okay, gastrointestinal, because a lot of them actually come in through this passage. Okay, now if you have because sometimes you have food poisoning without you knowing that you have food poisoning, and if you do the scan, bacteria or food imbalance or impurity comes out, you may actually have consumed some contaminated food or drinks. But it is not high enough concentration to give you a vomiting or diarrhea. But if this appear, means you actually have come in contact with it. So you have to trust your Healy. Okay, so tonsil is for infection. So yeah. Okay, so these are the programs that you use. Bacteria here can help you to increase your good bacteria, and so that the good bacteria can then overcome, control the population of some of the bad bacteria. Okay, then the gastrointestinal digest all. Why do we want to increase their function? Is because there is the gastric acid in the stomach. So this will actually help to kill bacteria and parasites as much as possible, okay, until they build their biofilm, or if the parasites actually have their protective covering, then they may actually escape that, yeah. Then 80% of the immune cells are actually found in the small intestines, okay. Yeah, 80% of our immune cells. So because that is where they actually wait there for all these pathogens to come in, so that is where they get activated to actually start the antibody production process, or TCs. These are cells that will actually kill and remove the infected cells. Okay, so the defense is there. And then in the large intestine is where we have the probiotics that will help us to manage the bad bacteria. Okay, then under digital nutrition, you will see alcohol intake. So there are people who will say, I didn't take any alcohol, but why does any alcohol appear? Now, I've shown you that alcohol also includes the essential oils. Okay, sometimes you may take chocolates or dessert with alcohol in it. Okay, so there was one lady, she came, and then alcohol intake appear, and then it was what? It was her birthday, and she just had a big slice of tiramisu. Okay, and alcohol intake will appear in the reading. Okay, so basically this is actually to just break down all kinds of alcohol. So like I said, even sanitizer also alcohol. So trust the device, yeah. Then you have antioxidants, and this one, people always read this as two plant substances. What is it? Secondary. All right, this is secondary. Primary plant substance is your chlorophyll. Secondary plant substance is your carotenoids. In your carrots, you have the purple ones, in the grapes, okay, red, purple, orange, yellow. These are called secondary plant substance. They are also actually antioxidants. So you have antioxidants, oxidants here. Antioxidants here, they are anti-inflammation, anti-inflammatory, and they also help to counter pathogens. They help the immune system to actually fight. Okay, lymphatic. So if you get lymphatic, this is also where your immune system, your immune cells are located. So if there's an infection or immune needs to go up, it will appear. Impurities, this will help you to purge and flush the impurities away. Okay, so that will be for all the detox. So defense here, this is for your defense system, immune. This is defense here. In bioenergetic harmony, this is also for your immune system. Shiver is the fever, which you need for viral infection. And then the intestine here, okay, so this is also for your immune system as well. Okay, so sometimes this will appear, then you'll be wondering why. So when you see many of these that I mentioned today appear, then you will know that there is some foreigners in your system. Okay, allergy here can be allergy for pollen, allergy for dust, allergy for food that is not suitable for you. So again, the small intestines, spleen. Okay, these two, when you get infection, you'll find that spleen may actually appear because the spleen help to regulate the immune system as well. Okay, so spleen, small intestine, if it appear. Lymphatic, like I mentioned just now, your immune system is here. Stomach is for your stomach acid. Okay, then your probiotics. Okay, the last time I talked about slimming, you need a certain strain of probiotics. But for this one, is generic. Any kind of probiotic supplements can help. Okay, because I said that if you don't have the probiotics in your system, you cannot use Healy to, make them into existing. So you need some supply. Okay, you can use natural ones like yogurt, sauerkraut, natural. Okay, because any form of probiotics will be good. Okay, yeah. So you need them, and then you can then use the friendly flora. So after you put in your probiotics, the friendly flora here is to support your gut microenvironment. Okay, yeah, so it will help to reduce stress. It will help to stimulate your vagus nerve, increase your gut motility so that you can have better bowel clearance and clean your gut. Okay, and they can also help to remove the biofilm, the bacterial biofilm that is lining your mucous membranes. Okay, now comes Zapper protocol. Okay, this is for parasites. This is actually originally contributed by Hulda Cloud. Okay, you can actually use for all kinds of pathogens. Originally, it was meant for parasitic worms. Okay, but you can use it if you had chronic infection of some kind, and you can't seem to get rid of them. Use Zapper, parasites, bacteria, virus, fungi. Okay, now somebody actually had Zapper protocol appear in high percentage after a sushi meal. Okay, after eating raw food. Yeah, so that means that they have actually entered into the system. Okay, so what happens is every strain have their unique resonant frequencies. All right, and this protocol here is to target parasites in your blood, lymph, and also those that have gone into the organs. So they come in a fixed pattern, okay? In this Zapper protocol, if you have used it before, you will see this 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 20 minutes, 7 minutes, 20 minutes, 7 minutes, followed by 10 minutes. Okay, now every 7 minutes, okay, every 7 minutes, they give a certain frequency that will weaken or paralyze the parasites or the pathogens. Okay, so it's to weaken them. And then the 20 minutes here, these 20 minutes is to allow the immune cells, the immune system to respond, to go and break them down and get rid of them. Okay, so they go in this kind of cycles. Okay, so now you can see here, these are all the different pathogens, right? Anthrax, tetanus, some of these are bacteria. Then, yeah. And you see them, they are unique. They have unique frequencies like this. And it's in the form of kilohertz. Do you see? KHZ, all in kilohertz except the last one. Okay, so now when you use Healy, this is what you will see. The first 10 minutes will be frequency sweeping. All right, it will appear 10 seconds, 823 kilohertz, 604 kilohertz. So it will run like this, and then the next one, then next one, then the next one. Okay, I call this frequency sweeping. The first 10 minutes is to give all these different frequencies to kill as many types of the pathogens as possible. So this is to cover a broad range of pathogens here. Then after the 10 minutes is the first 7 minutes. And you will see 33.3 kilohertz during the entire 7 minutes. So what happens is the 33 kilohertz here is the one that will blast. This one, you better use the microcurrent, okay? So that it will be strong enough to actually have the electric current with the frequencies to disrupt, break them, blast them, okay? Yeah, so that will be parasites, bacteria, all that. It breaks down the toxins. It actually paralyzes the pathogens. And then, so they will go one cycle. And then after that, they go into 20 minutes of 0.5 hertz. So this is to actually stimulate the lymphatic system, the blood system, okay? Yeah, to circulate and then reduce the cellular stress and then support the recovery and also to clean up all the mess after this. Now, during the first blast, some of the parasites will go into hiding. Okay or not? So the 20 minutes is to make them feel that, okay, I think the blasting is over. You know, like snail, right? When you touch them, they will curl up. Okay, so then when they feel that the threat is over, then they will come out. So after the 20 minutes, they thought that the threat is over, then they will come out, and then we blast them with the next 7 minutes. Okay or not? 7 minutes. So that will be the second round of those that were hiding. Then after that, 20 minutes of cleaning up everything and then let them feel safe again. And then they go back again to another 7 minutes. So now the last 7 minutes, they will go deeper, deeper, deeper into the tissues. So the last 7 minutes will go deep tissue penetration. All right. So any cysts, biofilm, or those worms and all that has gone into the organs, okay, they will get it now the third time. Okay, then after that, the last 10 minutes will be all the for recovery. Okay, so back to all the normal frequency again. Okay, so if you do this, drink water so that you can flush out all this from your system. Okay, so if you have not done this before, actually it's good to actually do it one time to clear your body from any of these things. Okay, now if you do the MagHealy scan, water activation scan, okay, if you get the detox here, this is to remove toxins, germs, everything. So this is general, all right? The detox here, this one is general use. And then purification of negative info. This is good for animal meat that you eat. So for me, if I eat meat and then after that I feel so much discomfort, then I will run this purification of negative info. What you do is you take the MagHealy, put on your cup of water. Okay, then after that you drink the water. Okay, so immediately, very fast, within 5 minutes, I feel the whole entire relaxation of my whole gut. Yeah. Then bioenergetic detox. Okay, after stress, so these are the emotions that you have, and then this is the defense, bioenergetic defense, in case you absorb some of the negativity from the people around you. Okay, so you can use this, just drink the water. Okay, yeah, or you can just sometimes use unpleasant sensation for this. Okay, so purification of negative info for trauma in the meat. Okay, trauma in terms of with others, you can also use that as well. Okay. All right. So by running these programs, by doing all this, what you're doing is initially your cells is full of dirty, toxic water. So now after you clean up the system, you can enjoy a nice, good, clean environment. Okay. Yeah. So even skin issues. So skin issues sometimes is all these toxins. So it's coming out. So you can try, if you have done many things and it doesn't seem to improve, do a good complete detoxification. Okay, so use these two hand in hand to get the best effect. All right, so 2 weeks from now, 26th of June, I will cover detox organs. So today I'm talking about general removal only. Yeah, so some of the toxins that has gone into our cells and all that requires breakdown, neutralization, and then removal. So we talk about how to protect, support, detox organs. Okay, so that will be 2 weeks later. Next week will be Petra's turn, and she will be talking about digital nutrition. Have you ever wondered how digital nutrition works? So it's a good time to find out how to use it and how it works. All right. Okay. So let's see if there are any questions. Okay. What is the significance when we get hair program? Okay, hair program. So hair program, it depends whether your hair has turned white. That's one possibility. The other hair is hair loss, okay, or the texture of your hair. Now, hair also has to do with kidney, okay, your kidney program. So if you get hair, it can be also for your kidney as well. Okay. Then, okay, where to get the books? You can email to me at healypedia@gmail.com. Okay. Then the recordings. Okay, is cataract due to impurities in the eyes? No. Cataract is actually because of glycation. Okay, glycation is sugar. Okay, sugar reacting with the protein. So your lens is actually a protein. So it's too much sugar. The sugar react with the protein and then it becomes cloudy in color. Okay, yeah. So if you consider sugar as an impurity, then yeah, it can be an impurity as well. There is a possibility that other impurities can also react with the protein, yeah, and then cause the protein to turn white. Okay, turn white, so it becomes cloudy and not transparent anymore. Okay, so the recording will be sent to you by Healy World every month when you get the frequency and friends information. So over there, you will get the recording. Yeah, you can also get it on the Petra's Facebook. You can get it on my YouTube channel as well. Okay. Are we getting programs listed on the White app? You are referring to the Heal Advisor. Yes, you can key in and then it will give you a list of programs that you can use from there. So, okay. How to take these programs per day? Okay, now you can, okay, usually when you start using the Healy, we will ask you to use the Gold Cycle Pure or the Deep Cycle Clean All for 2 weeks to just have a good cleanse. Okay, so if you have not done that, you can do that. Okay, then after this, what happens is when we do the 5x5 scan, okay, if it appear, some of these programs appear again, like what we mentioned here, impurities, let's say impurities appear, then the percentage is high, 57% or more, okay, I would then use the Red app to actually run that particular program. Okay, it means that the Healy actually detect some of this in the body. Or you can look at your own activities. Okay, if you have gone for outdoor and all that, so you come back, you want to do a cleanse, or if you have eaten a lot of raw meat, raw fish, you want to just clean your body. Okay, so you can actually do that as and when you think that is necessary. Okay, yeah, it's just a form of protection. If you have any of these infection before, serious one, you know, some of them will tell me that, oh, they have landed in hospitals before for a severe bacterial infection in the past. So these are also indication that you would have the residue of all this in the body. So you might as well just do a cleanse. You don't have to use all of it, no need. Okay, so you can use it maybe one a week. After 2-3 weeks, you try another one and all that. So you can spread them out. Then, yeah, the parasites, which program? Okay, so that will be the zapper for the parasites in the power of 3. Okay. So if you have the blue app in the report 70%, how many times do you run the program? So you run the program using the red app, okay, for programs that are 70% or higher. Okay, you can do that two or three times a week. And then after that, when you scan again, it should come down. Okay, so do until it come down to a safe range, balanced range would be 40 to 56. Okay, so ideally 50% is the best, plus minus 10. Okay, so you bring it back down to about 50+%. Okay, gut bacteria, good gut bacteria is actually friendly flora in the power of 3. You can also use bioenergetic harmony bacteria. Okay, so because it depends on your addition, your Healy addition. Yeah, so that's why the company actually gives you similar programs. Okay, because it depends on your addition. So you just use whatever that's in your addition. So the idea is to run Healy Resonance or MagHealy Resonance every day and run the highlighted programs. Yes, correct, Eugene. Okay. Yeah. So when you do, because you use the 5x5 for Healy to search for you, what do you need? Okay. So in the secondary analysis, anything that is above 57%, it will be good to actually use the red app. If everything is nice, perfect in the 40s and 50s, and then you can just vibrate the blue app. Yeah, which means you get the 5 program at one go. Okay, in the pink Healy, how can we run? Oh, when you run the zapper, it's automatic. That's the beauty of the Healy program. Okay, I mentioned to you the 720, 720. So it's already in the program already. Okay, so you just press start and then until the end. So the whole process will already be there. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that's the beauty. But if you sit and watch the screen, okay, yeah, because I know that the Huda is 720, 727. So I actually watched the Healy, I actually timed the Healy, and you really see the 720, 727. Okay, and then at the beginning 10 minutes, at the end 10 minutes, like that for the whole program. Okay, so they really follow the protocol. Okay, so my pitted scars on the face are aggravated post midday. Morning, pretty good. To get rid of the scars, it's skin. Okay, under the skin program, beauty program, skin program would be scar. Okay, you have scar and then you have skin. Yeah, so use the skin program. Okay, if one doesn't have flu, doesn't cough, but often have greenish phlegm. Okay, so when you have phlegm, it means that there is some kind of infection. Okay, so it's either bacteria, fungus, and all that. So, yeah, do the few programs that's mentioned here, do the impurities. You can, if it's not tonsils here that's hurting, you may not want tonsils. The impurity, the bacteria, do your defense, okay, to strengthen your immune system. You may also want to do skin because skin is also for the mucous membrane. Where is the mucous membrane? Anything that is lining your digestive tract and your respiratory tract. So that whole part is the mucous membrane. So you can use skin for that. If you have ulcer in the stomach, you can either use the stomach program, gastrointestinal, or you can also use skin. So if you keep having skin appearing in your 5x5 and you don't have any external skin condition, it would be the internal mucous membrane. Okay. Blue app, can I run every day? Yes. Okay, you can run. There's so many programs every day. Your top 5 may be different, so you can just run them. So 38 seconds, stimulate 7 times, and then followed by 27 minutes. So you can run them. Okay. Then, okay, good. Glaucoma eye problem. What is the program? Okay, glaucoma. You have to do pure because glaucoma could also be the swelling of the eye. Okay, so pure release. You have to see when you do 5x5 what comes out if you have glaucoma. So sometimes they may give you circulation because of the pressure. You want to release the pressure by draining away some of the fluid. So you have eye, bioenergetic harmony eye. So you can use the eye. You can also use liver programs, okay, because liver is connected to the eye issues. Yeah. Okay, psoriasis. Okay, psoriasis, try the programs that I mentioned today for psoriasis. But those with skin issues, when you do all this detox, I would like to warn you that it may get worse. Okay, yeah. So when you run all these programs, yeah, you may actually get itchy skin and things like that because it's coming out, it's flushed. Okay, so just take note, all right, so that when it happens, you don't panic. Keloids, use skin, under skin, there is scar, SCAR, okay, that's for keloids. Then paralysis. Paralysis will be nerve muscle. Use the fitness program, okay, fitness program, and then use the nerve program, all the nerve program that you can find, okay. Then insulin resistance. Insulin resistance, if it's type 2, it could be because, like what I said, this kind of impurities get lodged in your insulin gene and prevent it from expressing itself. So you can try doing all this, and then spleen pancreas, under the meridian, spleen pancreas is where the insulin is produced. Then you can do gastrointestinal under bioenergetic harmony. So that is for the whole liver, for pancreas, everything is already there. Kindly let me know, Shireen, what cycle are you talking about? Okay. For eczema, if you use skin and it does not work for eczema, then likely is toxins. Okay. Now, eczema, you also need to see where is the eczema. So if the eczema, let's say, is here, sometimes it's here, then you look at the 3 meridians on the hand, and then you go and run that. So some eczema is around the neck area. So this will be your stomach. Okay. Yeah. Meridian. And then the side here will be your gallbladder and all that. So if the eczema is in specific patches at certain parts, go and follow the meridian. Okay, that will actually tell you why the eczema appear there. If it's general, the whole body one, it is blood. Okay, it's the blood or skin. Okay, yeah, so that type is very likely toxicity, or it could be this kind of parasitic toxins. Okay, yeah, or the bacterial fungal toxins and all that. So if you have not tried, if you have tried medications and all different methods, you haven't tried this, you may want to try this. Lipomas. Okay, I have to check what is lipomas. Okay, gold cycle detoxification. Yes, if you have gold cycle, then you just use the release and the pure. Okay, let me check. Lipomas, wrist, elbow, shoulder aches and all that. Meridians. Okay, your wrist, elbow, shoulder. Check all the hand meridians, which is your lung, pericardium, then your heart meridian, large intestine, small intestines. Okay, yeah. And then fitness. Fitness, you have the deep relaxation of the muscles. Okay, so you can try that. On the leg, okay, on the leg, then you have to see which part of the leg, front of the leg, side of the leg, or the back of the leg. Back of the leg will be the urinary bladder meridian. Okay. Side of the leg will be the gallbladder. The front will be the stomach. Then the inner side of the leg will be the liver, spleen, kidney. Okay. Hip coxal hypertension. Hypertension, people have used release. Okay, you can use release, you can use try to do all the cleaning up thing. Okay, like clean all, pure, and then release. The other one is vagus nerve. If you have the MagHealy, vagus nerve is for relaxation, is to bring down your stress. So you can try that. Okay, your scan report says 80% brain cells. Okay. Is your circulation. All right. 80% brain. Okay, so you can do programs related to the head. Learning program is for the brain. If you have MagHealy, you have brain and you have thalamus. Okay, so that is for your brain. If it's blood circulation, then you have to use the meridians. Okay, yeah, go and run one round on meridians and then do the chakra. So you have to see the combination that comes out. Yeah, because the different combination in your 5x5 that comes out will tell you where the problem lies. Okay. Wheezing, asthma is your respiratory, bioenergetic harmony, and the other one will be skin. Okay, any mucous membrane, go and use skin, and then the meridians. Okay, meridians for your respiratory. Okay, brain hemorrhage. Okay, if there's a hemorrhage, before you use any of the programs, you have to make sure that the bleeding has stopped. Okay, yeah, Mr. Tapan, hang on. Okay, so brain hemorrhage, you have to wait until bleeding stop, because if the bleeding does not stop, you use the Healy, it improves the circulation and it may actually increase the bleeding. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful here. Now, once the bleeding stop, it will be all the learning programs. MagHealy will be your brain thalamus. Use all the nerves program as well. Okay, fitness, nerves. Okay. Diabetics. Diabetics depends. Okay. For a start, you can actually use the spleen, meridian spleen, or you can use bioenergetic harmony, the gastrointestinal first. Hormones. Okay, yeah, I forgot the hormones. So just now earlier there was an insulin resistance. Go and do hormones. See all the programs with hormones, you can use that. Okay.
Christi Madam, can I speak now? Tapan Kumar case.
All right, okay. Since you have unmuted,
Yeah,
you have waited for a long time. The list is getting longer and
actually,
longer. Yes.
a lot of things have happened. I'm 84 years old, and very recently I have undergone major operations on hernia, hydrocele, and prostate, detected prostate cancer. And my they had given me an injection, and that gave miraculous result in cancer. That is, my PSA came down from 42.1 to 14.1. Creatinine came down from 1.4 to 1.1. The SGPT reading was very good. And all these things happened, but in order to support this, I was taking Heal Advisors prostate cancer. That program I am continuing. But very recently, I am facing a little bit of problem regarding various types of irritations and allergies. There's some Something has come out in my nose last night. It's paining, and sometimes it's irritation in the skin. And this Zapper protocol, how to use it nicely to get these things out.
Okay, Zappa protocol, if you want to use it, you wear the wristband, okay? Wear the electrodes. You just go to Zapper and then you just turn it on. Okay, so you drink water before you start, and then throughout the process, you can drink some water, and then at the end, when you finish, drink water again. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So okay, if rashes, when you use Healy, if rashes starts to appear on your skin, this is because your detox organs, which 2 weeks later I'm going to talk about it, when your liver, kidney, your blood circulation, if it is not functioning in tip-top condition, what happens is the toxins will come out through the skin. Okay? Yeah. So sometimes you have to bear with it, drink more water to let it flush out of the body. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes, yeah.
I'm
So
very positive, and I think that will help me. I'm this immunity medicines they are using as it seems.
yes,
Immunity with these things,
yes,
and
yes.
that
You
has
know the
given miraculous
defense.
result, particularly regarding PSA and these things.
Yeah, you're doing
It has
well.
got, uh, and I have got very strong in my mind, and that's how I want to win this match.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Thank
Your
you very much.
PSA is coming down. Okay, so support. Use the defense program. Your immune, strengthen your immune, because your immune cells will naturally go and look for
Yeah.
cells that are not helpful to the body and remove them. Okay. Yes, Dr. C. Hmm.
Yeah, this one for the scar program, that is skin works well because the scar comes under the skin. Because yeah, I ran for many patients, uh, those who are having any surgical operation, example cesarean or any surgical operation, especially in the belly or in any area, usually the scar formation is there. For
Yes.
that pain also will be there. So even after long time, even after 6 months or 1 year, if you stretch it too much, the pain will be there due to the scar
Yes.
tissue. For that,
Correct.
skin program works well because I have done lot of this one for the scar program. I always if you run the 5 into 1, 5 into 5, the automatically the skin will come. That is yeah, for all scar program. So
Yes.
it gives a very good relief. And also you have mentioned about the non-veg. That is that also very useful information for the
Yeah.
yeah. It is also for the very good. That is you have told that information that is uh, you were specifically told that that is some that also it is very useful information because the majority of them it is an acute attack. So suppose if you take non-veg, everything it is an acute. So
Yes. Correct.
immediately, as you were told, it is very useful information. Then as you told that aflatoxin is a major issue because aflatoxin is a major issue because we are taking, especially those who are vegetarian and taking raw food, example peanuts or any raw fruits or vegetables or any the nuts, the aflatoxin, definitely that problem will be there. So yeah, for that also you have told. Then the E. coli infection is a highly challenging one because there is no, in allopathy, there is no treatment for that, especially for the E. coli. It is a recurrent, this one. But for them, that Healy and MagHealy, it gives very good result because since it acts on the cellular level, it works. Then for the diabetes, you are told apart from the spleen and pancreas, because it is mainly due to the that is the glucose in the blood due to diabetic sensitivity, diabetic resistance is there, insulin resistance is there. So for that cell program works well.
Cell.
Yeah, cell. Then
Okay.
circulation also work well. Then.
All
Apart
right.
from the spleen and pancreas, because
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So cell is in the bioenergetic vitalization, that cell.
Yeah, cell. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Cell program works well. Then circulation.
Circulation.
Because it is mainly that insulin resistant and insulin sensitivity. Here, then diabetes, the reason is insulin resistance. Because the blood cells, it doesn't open, it closes down. So the glucose, it circulates in the blood. Because due to the resistance. Suppose if you do the circulation program, it will improve it will do the sensitivity part. Then the
Okay.
cells will open, then the normal things will work. Then circulation also do wonderful.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's good. So I learned something today as well. Okay. Tinnitus. Tinnitus is actually related to liver and kidney. All right. So vertigo, tinnitus, hearing. You can actually use the third eye chakra, which is around here. You can use kidney meridian programs. Okay, kidney. So that is for the ear. All right. Then uric acid. Uric acid is in the joints and all that. So uric acid is one of the harmful substance that the body cannot get rid. It will put in your joints. Okay, so you can use joints. You can use the clean oil, pure, which is generally for all these harmful substance in the body, so you can use that. Okay, so kidney also for uric acid, because kidney is supposed to flush out all this. Okay, so if the kidney is not working very well, so this is where I said that they will find places to put all these things and it will go into your joints. Okay, do you have any chart like which frequency for which condition? We don't attach to a condition because you have to trust the Healy 5x5 analysis, okay? Because like one symptom, right, can be caused by so many different factors, okay? So it's like if we put one condition, we have to give you like if you use the Healy Advisor program, they will give you a long list of programs that you can actually use, because the body is all interrelated. Okay, so it's best that you trust the Healy by doing the 5x5 to find out exactly what is the missing link in the body. Okay, so for dry mouth, again, it is your salivary glands, it is your mucous membrane, use the skin, SKIN, skin. Lower back pain on the left. Okay, if sciatica nerve does not work for you, then you can use local stimulation program 2 using the electrodes. That's for lower back. Then you can also use all the chakra. Okay, all the chakra, which is for the spine. And then the third one will be the meridians, organ meridian, bladder meridian. Okay, so which they actually run parallel to your spine. So these are the few that you can actually try for this. Now, lower back pain can also be because of emotions. Okay, so go to the resonance database analysis, the third one in the blue app. Go and scan all the list there, and then look at your own emotions that are 60% or higher. Okay, so lower back can be you feel that there is a lack of support, you feel insecure. Okay, there could be anger issues, there could be other kinds of emotional issues there. So you have to release your emotions as well, okay, for back pain. Okay, dry mouth, mentioned already. Short of breath, you have to run the chakra, meridian for the lungs. Insomnia, This one has many possibility for insomnia. Okay, there are at least 8 different reasons. The other time I listed down 8 different possibility for insomnia. So you look at your 5x5 and see what comes out. Okay, yeah, because it can come out as your chakra, third eye or crown chakra here. That means you're short of the melatonin. Okay, it can come out as defense, geopathy. Yeah, so that will be another reason. Yeah. So many reasons. So for insomnia, you have to depend on your 5x5 to tell you what is wrong. Tinnitus. Okay, if you have MagHealy, sound of silence for tinnitus, ringing in the ears. Okay, then you use all the kidney programs. Okay, and use the forehead chakra for the tinnitus. Yeah, you see which one comes out. It may come out here, it may come out crown, this two. Okay, myopia, eye problem. Eye is liver. If not, you use the eye program in the bioenergetic harmony, digital nutrition. Okay, then you run the liver program in harmony. You run the meridian liver as well. Then there is head also in bioenergetic harmony. Okay, tinnitus, you can also use bioenergetic harmony for head. Anything that is in the head. Okay, weight loss, fat loss, you have to refer back to the previous video. Constipation also got many possibilities. You have to depend on the 5x5. Okay, it could be your sacral and the root chakra blockage around there. It could be because of your meridian. It could be because of your large intestine. Okay, so you have to use intestinal for bioenergetic harmony, meridian, large intestine, and lung. Then chakra, okay, the lower chakras. Dark circles in the eye is your circulation, and then use programs that is related to eye and liver. Cerebral palsy is brain nerves, okay? Learning program. MagHealy will be brain thalamus, nerves. Yeah. Aura analysis. Aura analysis, you can go to use Healypedia YouTube channel. There is one on aura analysis, Healypedia. Then, okay. Menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle, one is hormone. Okay, menstrual cycle, you have to see what is the problem. If it's the 28th cycle that is not regular, right? Then it would be hormone. Okay, hormone, whether is you can use menopause, although you may not be at the menopause age because it is to restore back the cycle. Then if it's the amount, okay, then it would be the liver. Okay, liver, kidney, use meridian, liver, kidney, hormones. Then mature women for bioenergetic harmony for menstrual cycle. MagHealy, there is one which is the ovary. Okay, one is for the ovary. You use that. Yeah. Okay. Brain fog. For brain fog, you can try all these toxins first, okay? The one that we mentioned today, because why? There is a lot of heavy metals here, that's one. So it can cause brain fog. The other one that causes brain fog is the Wi-Fi. Okay, so use the electrosensitivity and then circulation to the brain. Yeah, so you use the meridian and then use the chakra that is related to your head for the brain fog. Creatine, okay, the next one I'll cover creatine, creatinine and all that. These are toxins from the kidney. Triple warmer meridian is the hormone. In the Healy is the hormone. In the MagHealy is the triple warmer. Dementia is basically the brain nerves, okay? Head program, the crown chakras. Absent mind, thalamus, okay, is the speed of the brain. Use brain and thalamus and learning program, and then look for all the brain related programs, okay? Sometimes it can be in digital nutrition and all that. Okay. Oral analysis is also in the YouTube Healypedia. Everything is explained over there. So speech delay in autism. Okay. There were a couple of children with speech delay. You have to do the 5x5. If learning crown chakra appear, that means the delay is because of the brain. Okay, now you see whether heart meridian appear. Heart. Okay, heart meridian, because the heart meridian is related to the tongue. Okay, yeah. Then emotions. Okay, a lot of emotions. So we found that there were several children, 3 or 4 years old. We found that after we clear their emotions, okay, they started to speak. Yeah. Dopamine, Parkinson, yeah, because dopamine, all these are the hormones that's related to the head. So crown, your forehead, you can use the head program, the whole head. Okay, use the brain program. MagHealy use the brain, use the nerves, and then use the thalamus. Okay. Loss of eyesight. Okay. Loss of eyesight due to diabetes is actually a circulation issue. All right, it actually bursts, the capillary burst. Okay, so that's why it loss of eyesight. So you have to see in 5x5, if circulation appear, is actually a circulatory issue rather than a diabetes issue. Okay, then the eyes, you can use the eye program in the, you use bioenergetic harmony, either eyes or head. Okay, autism behavioral issues is actually here. Okay, other than like what I mentioned for the head, crown chakra here, and then thalamus, the middle brain, the midbrain. Okay, thalamus, because that is where you have the amygdala, you have the hippocampus, which actually controls the temper tantrum. Okay, and their social behavior. Okay, thalamus. Okay, the uric acid is they are found in the joints. So kidney, use the liver, use joint programs, use pure, use clean all. Yeah, it's actually toxins that kept in the body. So this one will be covered later on in the next one. Okay, adhesive electrodes be placed in sciatica nerve. Okay, follow the picture. They will show you the picture which is at the back. Okay, on the 2 sides of the spine. Motion sickness. Motion sickness has to do with your ear imbalance. Okay, so work on programs related to the ear. Work on programs here in the forehead chakra. Okay, so that's motion sickness. The other one, which is very easy, is actually here. 3 fingers. Okay, 3 fingers from your wrist line. There is an acupoint here, and then there's another one behind here. So you just put them front back in the middle here like this, and then massage. And here the same, the massage. This one, this point here helps you to regain your motion sickness very fast. Okay? Yeah. Speech, yeah, speech I mentioned earlier already. You have to do 5 by 5 to see where is the problem, because there is speech that's related to the brain. Now, if you do the 5 by 5 and none of the brain or the crown actually appear, that means it may not be very much to do with the brain, but emotions. You check out the emotions, okay? I've seen a couple of kids about 3 to 4 years old, and they have speech delay. And many of them, they are born during the COVID period. So yeah, we did the emotions, and it helped a lot. Okay. Triple heater is the internal organs here, okay? And then for hormones as well. Raise your body temperature. Developmental delay in kids. Here, chakra. Okay, do the chakra for developmental delay because of the energy here. Arthritis. Okay, these are joint issues as a result of toxins and immune. Okay, so next time we'll do that. Sometimes in 5 by 5 analysis program come out that analyze individual give values under 40%, under 50%. Okay, what to do? If it's too low, not so good. Let's say if it comes out 10+%, 20%, yeah. If it's too low, that means the energy or the battery level of the person is kind of low. Okay, chronic, not enough energy. So that you use chakra and the meridian to boost the energy. Okay, or you can use programs related to like bioenergetic boost and all that to actually bring up their percentage. Okay. Suddenly feel very sleepy. Yeah. Okay. So it means that something is going on there. You feel sleepy when you use program, you feel sleepy is because a lot of cellular work is ongoing. Yeah. So it puts you to sleep because when you sleep, then they can channel the energy towards where it's needed. Yeah. Because if you're awake means the energy is have to supply to so many different organs and all that. So they will put you to sleep. Yeah. Okay. Elderly leg weakness. One is muscle. You have to do the fitness. Okay. Fitness, circulation, meridians. Okay. Run all the meridians that runs along the legs. Okay. All right. So earlier, I think I missed out on the lipoma. So when I search the lipoma, it has to do with removal of fat cells and all that. Okay. So if the lipoma, the fat tumor has been removed, then it's fine. Okay. It's just your skin and the liver. Okay. Liver has to do with all the fat metabolism. Okay. So work on the liver. Yeah. Okay, the best is 5 by 5. Okay, or the 5 by 7, McMakin and Classic. Every time I do this for every single client, it actually tells you what is going on in the body. You just trust that 7 list. The answer is all there. Okay, it's not disease by disease, one issue after another, endless. Then I will have to write a whole encyclopedia of all these issue and what program. You see or not? Okay, so don't work on the body by condition. Okay, you work on the body by the terrain. Okay, Nina always call it the terrain, meaning that you work on the foundation. Okay, so you use the 5x5 or the 5x7 to actually tell you what is going on. Okay. 5x5 program is not in your addition. As long as you have resonance, addition and above, you're going to use the blue app. Okay, yeah. Then pink app for 5-year-old. Officially, we do not recommend using Healy on children below 12 at all. Okay, so that is the official stand of Healy World. But if you choose to use, meaning that you trust, you use it on yourself, you trust, and you want to give it to them, you can give them the coil. Okay, put it next to them. Doesn't have to be directly on the body, just near to them is fine. Okay, or you can use low current. You go to the settings and then you switch, go to MagHealy and then you switch to low current for children. Okay, and low percentage. Please do not use the coil. You can use the blue app. Okay, or you can use the atmosphere program, or you can give them water, water, because everybody has to drink water, so that is safe for the kids. All right. Okay, thank you all so much for staying back to listen to all the questions, and thank you for all your questions, because we all learn from everybody's questions. Okay, so bit by bit, and then so learn a little bit every week, and your knowledge, your skill in using the Healy will increase over time. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. Can we place the coil any other place of the body? Yeah, the coil, you can just put it, if it's at the feet, you know what they do? They take the old socks, right? So you can wear the socks and then you can put the Healy inside. Sometimes on the arm over here, they get the old socks, they cut away one end and then they slip into the hands and then they slot the MagHealy there. Okay, so sometimes on the leg, the ankle, they do that. Okay, so the Healy and the coil, put it near to where your location that is needed, because the coverage is, if you put 100% with the coil, the coverage is 50 cm radius. Okay, 50 cm radius. So you cannot wear here and then expect it to reach your toe. Cannot. So you have to put it near your toe. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, you need not put it on your chest if it makes you feel uneasy, or yeah. So you can place it somewhere else as long as it is within 50 cm from the device. So if you, let's say if you are seated at the table here like this, if putting on the chest here makes you feel uncomfortable, you can just put it on the table here like this. Okay, just put it on the table. Yeah, somewhere near you. Okay, within 50 cm, so that it can reach you. Okay, pet skin issues, how to use for pets. For pets, they have the accessory for pet. If you want to use the coil, also can. Water is easy, right? So if you have the MagHealy, give the pet the water, let them drink. And then skin issues, you just use the human skin program. Okay, human skin program, you can use that. You can also create a blue app, right? Create the profile for your animal, your pet, and then use the skin. There's animal program, you can scan animal program and give it to your pet. You can also choose skin and then scan it, and then through the blue app, give it to your pet as well. All right. Okay. All right. Lung functioning, just for now, just use the lung. Okay, so you can use the chakra, throat and the heart chakra, these two, and then your lung meridian. Yeah, then use skin. If you find that there's a lot of mucus infection, all the mucous membrane, you can actually use skin. Okay, because there are people who keep getting skin and then they don't know why they're getting skin. Because skin is one, if it's hypertension, it is actually for your blood vessel wall. Okay, Then if you have all the intestinal irritation, infection, and all that, the skin is actually for all your mucous membranes. Okay, all right. So yeah, so don't just see skin and then you think that it's only for the outside skin. Okay, all right. Thank you all so much. See you again.
You are the best, Christi. You know, big
Huh?
thank you for everything.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so use your Healy every day. Yeah, so you will benefit a lot. Okay, it's my best friend, Healy and MagHealy.
best.
Question answer session was awesome.
Bye bye.
Bye.